What's going on, guys? Welcome to part one of my Kansas City Chiefs offense. This is for Top Madden members. This is not going to be a playbook that's sold separately. It's going to be in the members area. This is part one. First formation is going to be trio offset weak, my favorite formation in the Kansas City Chiefs playbook. Personnel-wise, I like to have fast receivers, especially where I run this RPO with the bubble screen. So I put Tyreek Hill on the inside, and then I have another fast receiver on the outside. So that's going to be Sammy Watkins in this scenario. If you guys are playing MUT, some of the receivers I have, like Tyreek Hill's been awesome, Odell Beckham, awesome. Those type of receivers that you want to try. So RPO is the first play here, and it's an inside zone RPO. So if you read the defense and you notice that you have the numbers advantage as far as the blocking advantage on that trio side, I throw the bubble screen. So all you do to throw it is you press X to hike it, to snap the ball, and then you press circle to throw the bubble screen immediately, just like a regular pass and play. If you want to hand the ball off to the running back, you press X to snap the ball, and then hold X to hand it off to the running back if you're running this RPO. If you're on Xbox, that's A, hold A to hand it off. If you want to pass it to this bubble screen, you snap it with A and then press B to throw the bubble screen. So it's really a simple read. So for me, I'm looking to see if there's defenders covering my receivers. And what I mean by covering, if they're lined up in front of my receivers, then I am not going to throw the bubble screen. I am going to hand it off to my running back. Sometimes I decide beforehand, with inside zone being in my audibles, I can just audible to inside zone because I feel like that's a better run. Now, the third option is with my quarterback, as you see right here. You can choose to run just regular read option with your quarterback. If you see that end bite down like he's biting down right here, you don't press anything. You just snap the ball, and then you just take off with your quarterback by just pressing R2 or right trigger if you're on Xbox, and you could just run a regular read option. You do not want to take hits with your quarterback. Make sure you guys get down after you pass the line of scrimmage. Give yourself up. Make sure you slide. Tap X if you're on Xbox. Tap square if you're on PS4 to slide and give yourself up. You don't want to take hits, especially with how fumbles are in Madden 20 early on. So with that RPO read bubble, I put that in my audibles. The way that you do that is you press L2 and then you select which button you want to set it to, which for me, I like having it as R1, and then you pick the play, and then now it's set in your audible. So if you ever come out in whatever pass play or whatever run play and you notice you have a numbers advantage, you can audible to it. Now, the second play that we're going to get into is middle slant. This play here is my most popular passing play thus far in the early season. The way that I like to run it is I put my running back on a wheel route, and then I put the furthest receiver to the left, I put him on a smoke screen. You could do whatever you want with the other receivers. I tend to like one drag out there. Sometimes I put a streak out there. The tight end, I like him on a streak, or I leave him on that stock corner route. Those are up to you to decide based on what your opponent's running. Now, the first read is the drag across the middle. You can also hit the slant. Those are two quick reads: drag, slant, and then I look tight end, and then I look running back. So for me, my progression is going to be drag, slant, tight end, and then the running back on the wheel. The route that you're rarely ever going to throw is the smoke screen. Now, right here, I noticed I had the numbers advantage on the left side, so I audible to bubble screen, and I was able to hit Tyreek. Tyreek picks up a ton of yards after the catch. He's probably the best player in MUT right now, and in Regs, I would imagine. Even though I haven't played a ton of Regs, I would imagine him being the best. Now, that corner route that's stock in this play is good against man. As you see, you just throw it on the break, and you could hit him. Man-to-man defense, it's iffy, but if you have a linebacker manned up on your running back, when he turns up the field on the wheel route, you can pass lead the ball to your running back up and to the right or up straight up the field, and you should lead him perfectly where you can rack catch it and get up the field, get some separation. Now, I say only against linebackers because for some reason, like the DBs, they tend to get way better position, which I guess makes sense because they're better at covering than linebackers. So you got to really recognize who is manned up on the running back, and then that should determine whether you throw it or not. Another good thing about this play is the wheel route against zone. Again, this is going to be your last read. It's going to go drag, slant. Drag, you could have hit. I wanted to show this, for video purposes. I wanted to show why this wheel route gets open right here. It's because the smoke screen attracts this zone over here. Whether that's a cloud, hard flat, it's going to bring him down, and it allows your running back to get inside position where you can just pass, lead the ball up the field, and your running back can catch it and make a move after the catch. Whether that be a juke, stiff arm, truck, that's based on who you have at running back. The next play that we're going to get into is verticals. Pretty simple play. Again, this is in my audibles. 2 quick reads out the gate. I'm looking at my running back and my tight end right out the gate. And this leads me to my next point. I don't want you guys running this on the short side of the field. I never run trips on the short side. You want to run it on the wide side. So never run it to the short side of the field, always wide side. I'll flip it accordingly. If I'm on the left side of the field, I'll flip my trio to the right. Again, the 2 quick reads with this play are going to be your running back out of the backfield and your tight end. You should not be looking down the field immediately. You should be looking to see if you got an advantage with your tight end and your running back. And then if you don't, and they're smothered or the user's down there, then you look down the field, and the middle receiver is going to be your best target majority of the time of the 3 in the trio. If they're running cover 3 like so, you wait till he passes the zone, and you could throw it before he gets to the safety. And in Madden 20, it's so hard to user. So if someone's usering a linebacker, you could definitely get the ball there still. This play right here is when you have manned up against a linebacker. That's another bonus because you have a speedster in that inside slot. You could hit him on that crossing route pretty easily. All right, next play is going to be curl flat. This play is just a mix-up from middle slant, and I use this just to get Tyreek Hill on the post route. You see he's on a post here, and it just gives a different look to your opponent. It's a nice way to mix in a different route, so now my opponents have to account for that. I don't use this play more than middle slant. Middle slant would be my favorite play, really, because I could come out, just do a couple hot routes and get ready and attack the defense in so many ways. Again, another note for this formation, you want to snap the ball as quick as possible. In Man 20, you don't want to give your opponent time to set up, so get these setups down and snap the ball as quick as possible. I'm trying to show you guys here, you want to look at your short routes first. This drag right here, you should be eyes on the drags first, eyes on a slant, 5-yard out route. You don't want to look down the field to your post routes, corner routes, and such. You want to look at your drags, your slants, your dig routes, your in routes. If you have a table route out there to your running back, look at those. Start training yourself to look at those first before you look at the deep routes. All right, the last play that we're going to cover is fake screen wheel, a popular play from last year. And for me, this is just a cover 2 beater. If you see people coming out in something such as nickel blitz 2 out of nickel normal, which is a defense you'll probably see early on because people tend to use defenses and try defenses that worked in previous years, you can try this play to attack the cover 2. Now, you're looking for a home run here in Tyreek Hill, right down the middle of the field, splitting the safeties. You should be able to hit that if your opponent is not aware that you're trying to attack it right there. But most opponents are going to use the middle of the field, or they'll put one of the hook zones in a deep blue. So we'll just pretend like that is guarded. The other route on the field, that wheel route, is still really good on the wide side of the field to attack cover 2. And you'll see when I throw it here, I wait till he clears the cloud on the left, or the soft squat on the left, and then we could throw it right over his head and possession catch it on the sideline. This is not a play you're going to use a ton, but this is a situational play that you can attack a cover 2 defense and really hit them with the home run. This is a home run play. If you notice your opponent is just sitting in cover 2, use this play to attack the defense. I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of the Chiefs offense. It's going to be a 4-part series, and then I'm going to get into defense and what's helping me win in head-to-head. I'm currently 85-4 in MUT head-to-head. I've had a ton of success with this offense and defense, and if you guys have any questions, leave them in my email inbox. It's problem@topmadden.com. Type in your question, and what formation it's out of. Just try to be as specific as possible, and I will get back to those emails this week. Thank you guys for being a part of Top Madden, and I'll see you guys on part 2. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Kansas City Chiefs Playbook, Part 2. In this part, we're going to be talking about gun doubles offset week. A few plays that I like to run here, including now my favorite RPO in the game, which is RPO Orbit Bubble. We'll talk about that. There's an alert bubble as well, and then there's the orbit bubble. The first play that we're going to be talking about is alert bubble. And in this one, it's going to be with your slot wide receiver. So your slot's going to be, in this example, the slot's going to be on the left side of the screen. And instead of handing the ball off, you throw the bubble screen. Now, your read is, if there's a defender right in front of the slot, you got to make sure he comes down towards the box if you're going to throw the bubble screen. You don't want to just chuck it over there blindly. Your read should be looking at the DB that's in front of the slot receiver. If he comes down towards the box, you throw it. If he doesn't, then you just hand the ball off to your running back by holding A. If you're on PS4, you hold X. So that's how you hand it off to your running back. If you want to throw the ball, then you press the receiver's icon. All right, that's how all the RPOs work this year. To hand it off, you hold the button. You hold A or X if you're on PS4. If you're on Xbox, it's A. PS4 is X. And then if you want to pass it to the receiver, you press their icon. Now right here, right, the DB, I made a bad read. The DB was able to get out there. And you're going to see him get there eventually. Now, he's still going to catch it. Now, I don't give up here. If I'm ever in this situation, I just juke immediately. You flick the right analog to the right, and you hope for a juke to get off. You can also spin. I think juke is better, though. So get your juke off, and hopefully he makes that defender miss. All right, and a good rule of thumb is for handing the ball off, if you see a green box on the right side here where your run is designed to go, good rule of thumb is that more times than not, you're going to get some positive yards here. So if you see green box, definitely you can definitely give it to your running back. So when the ball is snapped, hold A, hand it to your running back, go get those yards. Again, popular move is the juke move. Here's another bubble screen here. This is RPO alert bubble. Orbit is going to be the best one in the playbook, in my opinion. RPO orbit bubble, the next play that we're going to cover here. What makes this so good is the blocking. For some reason, the blocking with these two receivers on the left side, when you throw the bubble, it's just so good. They go down the field, they attack defenders. They've been amazing when I've played mud head to head. The blocking has been really good. Now the same thing like the bubble prior to this, the RPO prior to this that we talked about, you can still hand the ball off to your running back by holding the button down to hand the ball off. So if you notice, what I notice mostly when I do this auto motion on this orbit bubble is that once I hit them with it a couple times, my opponent starts running over there manually pre-snap. And you can see that happen in pre-snap. So if you notice they take the free safety and they're running over there, then I'm not going to throw it. I'm just going to hand it off, and then we'll move on to the next play. And if we can get the user out of the play, that's a win as well. Because if you just think about it, if you have a user going to guard a bubble and you're running the ball up the middle, that means they can't shoot on your inside zone. So if you get good blocking, you can very well make one defender miss and be off to the races. So if they're willing to take their user out of the play, I'm willing to hand the ball off up the middle, try to make something happen, make a CPU miss, and possibly crib shot it. All right, so the next play we're going to go over is PA Orbit X Spot. And this is just a play to mix in the offense when you start hitting them with the bubbles and the RPOs and all that. This is just something to mix in so you can get the ball down the field. Maybe your opponent's getting really aggressive, bringing everyone down in the box. You hit them with this. This is not a play that I'm going to run any more than a couple times a game, if that. All right, this is just something it's really got to tell on your opponent. Like, they're getting way too aggressive. You want to pass down the field. If everything down the field is taken away, then you hit the little spot route left side, little easy little check down, 4 yards, 5 yards, whatever it may be. So just a little mix up. Last but not least, guys, we're going to talk about shallow cross. All right, and with this play, if you're playing regs and you have Brady, you have the hot routes where you could put a corner route with your slot receiver. Now, you can also get this in MUT, and I definitely advise you guys to get slot apprentice, where you can put corner routes and post routes on your receivers. Definitely try to get that. But for majority of people that don't have that, this is how I would set it up typically. Again, we have the smoke screen on the left. We have the wheel route to the running back. We're going to put the tight end on the out route, which beats man-to-man. And then we're going to streak Y. All right, so we have a couple zone beaters. Y beats cover 3. You can throw it in the seam oftentimes. And then you have the wheel route combo, which beats zone. You have the post route on the right side that beats zone, that gets over top of yellows underneath the blues. And then you have the out route to the tight end that beats man-to-man. All right, so here's another zone beater. Again, gets over the yellow underneath the blue. You can throw that in the soft spot. Now, one of my favorite route combos is the smoke screen with the wheel route. Like, this route is so good in the game. Wheel routes are really good, guys. You got to use them. They beat man sometimes pretty bad, and then they also are going to get over the top in zone once they clear the shorter zones, right? So as you can see in this replay, once I get even with the zone, I want to look down the field and see where the other defenders are. I noticed they're to the right. They're on the inside, so I'm going to pass lead this ball to the left towards the sideline, and then we're able to catch it, rat catching, and get the most yards out of it. This is my second most used formation right now. In the next videos, you guys are going to see a formation that I like to use situationally against like man cover, like these cover zeros that you guys are seeing, and just to really attack certain coverages. I mean, and then we're going to talk about red zone and how I attack scoring inside the red zone in a video. That's going to be 4 videos of offense. And then the 5th video is going to be going against the meta. Now, you're seeing a lot of people run this 3-4 where they send 6 guys, 7 guys. I want to show you guys the best way to attack that. That's the meta right now, in my opinion. A lot of people are running this cover 0 look. And I run my own variation of it out of 4-4, which you guys will see on the defensive videos. But we are definitely going to talk about the 3-4 and beating that, and giving you guys the best options to beat that. That's going to be its own separate video. We're calling that part 5, beating the meta. All right, beating the meta. And then you guys are going to get some defensive videos where I talk about 4-4 and talk about 3-5, the 2 formations that I run the most as of right now. All right, so hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you guys on part 3, Chiefs playbook. See you guys on that video. All right, guys, welcome to part 3, Chiefs offense. In this video, it's just a couple of plays out of gun bunch quads to really mostly attack zone players, people that want to run cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, any type of zone. There's a man beater in here as well. That's pretty good. And then if you have the hot route chems, I'll show you that as well. The first play that we're going to go over is bunch trail. The second play that we're going to go over is drag under. 2 plays out of quads. We're going to check them out. All you have to do in this first play is hot route RB to a drag. That's it. If you do have the route chems, where slot apprentice, or you have Tom Brady and regs, put A on the better corner route, which is right on the D-pad as far as corner routes go. And corner routes this year, they really get on top of purples, they get on top of clouds. You just throw it in the soft spot there, and you always want to possession catch it. So when the ball's in the air, you should be spamming A or X if you're on PS4. I always spam it. Some people hold it. I spam it. I want to make sure it registers. I want to make sure at some point I hit it, and mine usually registers, so that's what I would go with. All right, so again, that's a zone beater on the outside. You got the corner route, and then over the middle you have the angle route to the tight end, which is also good down the middle of the field, and it attacks zones very well down the middle of the field. And then with the drag route and the comeback route on the left, if they have hard flats, you can't throw the drag really as nice as you want to, and then but you could throw the comeback route. If you have clouds on the left and purples, you can throw the drag underneath. Here I'm just slowing it down to show you how the angle route gets into the middle of the field and attacks pretty much any hook zone over the middle of the field. It really, you can find a spot more times than not. Here you're going to see a hard flat, and like I said, if there's hard flat out there with the high-low on the left, you throw the comeback route. Notice the linebacker here, or the defender here, he's going to come down and guard the drag. You don't want to throw that drag. You want to wait till your comeback route turns around, or right before he's about to turn around, and then you throw a bullet pass, and he's going to get underneath the zone, the deep blue over there. So again, this is a great zone beater as far as a play goes. One of my favorites in the game, quads, and I love the overload on the right side. That's always a nice thing to have. But let's talk about the home run that we can possibly hit with this play, and it's against cover 2. If they have cover 2 and they don't get back over the middle of the field, you can throw B for a touchdown as he splits the safeties. Now, if they start going back there, then you hit the angle route, the tight end. If they put their middle linebacker in a deep blue, deep third, you can throw to the tight end every single time. If they take their user and their user in the middle, then they go back there, you throw to the tight end every single time. But if they get caught sleeping, you hit them for the touchdown. If they are in cover 2, split the safeties, easy touchdown. All right, back to bunch quads in the second play. There's only 2 plays, again, that I like out of here. We're going to talk about drag under. Okay, drag under, again, you can run it as is, but if you have the route chems, the slot apprentice, or you're running regs and you have Brady, which is a team that I like because he can do all these hot routes, you put A on a post. That post is going to beat man. That post is going to be sharp. The cut's really sharp, so it's good against man, and then for zone, it gets to the sideline fast to the left side. So a nice route. If you don't have that, you can leave it as is. Say you're playing MUT and you don't have the slot apprentice and stuff like that, you can leave that route as is and just use it like a regular crossing route. All right, so attacking the right side of the field with these wheel routes. The tight end wheel route, again, is going to attack zone along with the wheel route to the sideline. Those both are going to they're going to beat different types of zones. You'll see me throw it in the soft spot here. I'm going to go to replay and show you guys when exactly I like to throw this ball to the tight end as far as the wheel route goes. All right, so you're going to see him here go up the field, and you're going to see him about even with the defender, and then since the defender's on my right hip, I'm going to pass lead the ball to the left. Unfortunately, Brady makes a bad throw, but if he makes a good throw there, we possession catch it, first down. The drag route underneath is going to be good against zone as well. You see him coming all the way underneath. You can throw that, but a good thing about the post route that I was telling you guys about with the hot routes is that it goes all the way to the other sideline. So against clouds, purples, this post route is going to get over the top and it's going to get underneath. It's going to get underneath deep blues. So a very good route in the game. I definitely, if you're playing MUT, I definitely 1000% suggest you get slot apprentice ability on your receivers. Torrey Holt can get it, Marvin Harrison can get it, Jerry Rice can get it, and Keenan Allen can get it. I'm not sure if anyone else, but those 4 as of right now, I have it on 2 of my receivers when I'm playing MUT head-to-head, and it's been a really big bonus. And like I said, with the regs, there's some receivers and tight ends that can get it, but Brady gets this hot route combination on everybody. As you see, this route just absolutely torches man. You can put that route in any formation with a slot wide receiver. With a Brady, you can put that route out there and it just torches man. If you get man press on the wheel route on the right, again, this is another bonus with this play. If someone is running man press, the wheel route on the right is going to get enough separation where you can just throw the ball in between the man-to-man defender and the deep blue. If they're running cover 0 press and you get time, which is one of the metas where they send everybody, that wheel route is going to torch and you're going to score a touchdown on those players. More on that in the meta video, which is going to be part 5. All right, this is part 3. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Part 4 is going to be going over how I approach the red zone in Madden 20 with the Chiefs playbook. And then in part 5, we're going to go over attacking the meta in Madden 20, the meta defense, what it is right now, and how to attack it, my favorite ways to attack it. So hope you guys are enjoying. I'll see you guys on the next video, which is part 4, red zone offense. Peace. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to part 4, Chiefs offense. This is attacking in the red zone, finishing drives. First run that we're going to talk about is wing pair single back out of single back. That's going to be power O. So basically, my approach down here when I start to get closer to the end zone is I tried a few different runs and RPOs and see which one my opponent struggles with the most, and then I stick with that. So I may come out and run this one on first down. If I notice I pick up 6 yards, then I stick with it. If I am noticing that they're running dollar, I may go to the I form run that you guys are going to see. So it's really just these runs. There's none better than the other, in my opinion, down here in the red zone. I like all of them for different reasons. Like, for instance, this I form, the dive alert. This has the RPO built in with X on the little smoke screen right here, and you have a lead blocker with the slot. So this is also a good one to try. So again, this just like your other RPOs out of shotgun. If you notice that the box is weak and you want to hand it to the running back, you hold A to hand it off. If you want to pass it to the receiver, you press X. And on PS4, it's hold X to hand to the running back, and it's square to pass to the receiver. So again, this is just another play that I use down here in the red zone. Again, if my opponent struggles with this one, I will continuously use it until he shows me he can stop it. Now, sometimes, they play good defense. That's fine as well. You move on to the next. There's a couple RPOs here. And then as you get really close, we go into goal line formation. I'll show you which runs I like out of that. That power O out of single back wing is really good too. So, again, try these runs down here as you get closer to the end zone and see which one your opponents struggle with the most. All 3 of these runs that you guys are going to see, plus the goal line stuff, has been stuff that I've found successful so far. They all have worked against players, and they've all been runs that have been countered as well. So the next one's single back ace slot, and it's zone alert bubble. All right, again, another RPO and another bubble out there to the slot wide receiver. Again, if you want to hand it off, hold A. If you want to pass it to the receiver, throw it by pressing B. Okay, so again, you can cycle through these runs, see which one. Maybe there's one that you guys like better than the other. Go with that one. Go with the one that you think is you're most comfortable with. Right here, again, it was guarded. It's going to happen from time to time. One thing about bubble screens on the RPO, I've rarely thrown picks to the computer. I don't think I've thrown a pick to the computer yet. Even when they've smothered it, it has to be a user over there, as far as I've seen. Like, there's never a time where the computer has picked me off this year. So I'm pretty confident in throwing it. If I do make a bad read and the computer's there, most of the time they're going to get there and just make a tackle. It's not an instance where it's going to be picked off. Again, so if you see the bubble open, you could throw that and hopefully take it to the crib. If you notice, you have the numbers over there. If no one is covering the slot, if there's literally not a defender over the slot, throw the bubble. Just take your chance and throw the bubble right away, and try to get to the end zone. Like, for instance, if that slot is pulled in right here and he's in the box, I'm throwing the bubble. But if not, we can just hand it off by holding A. If you're on PS4, you hold X to hand it to your running back when you're running this play. Again, this is a RPO out of single back here, and we're hitting the bubble screen whenever we see the defender on that left side bite down. One thing to note too, like as you see this, once you see him bite down a couple steps, you can throw it. You've seen him move a couple steps towards the running back, and right when you see that, you throw the bubble, take it to the crib. One thing to note, when you're running this play and the I form play, make sure you have the receivers on the wide side of the field. So if the ball is placed on the right side of the field, the right hash, make sure your receivers are on the left hash. Now, as we get closer to the this is even closer. This is not from the 20 in. This is more from inside the 5. Inside the 5. I would even go as close as inside the 3-yard line for my liking as far as goal line goes. You can if you get inside the 1 or at the 1, you can do QB sneak. I have seen it get blown up this year, but the most successful run out of goal line in my experience so far in Madden 20 is fullback dive. Now, I have a traditional fullback here, and he's falling forward and whatnot. But what I like to do in MUT, and what I suggest you guys do, same with Regs, put a power back there. I wouldn't put James White there. I would go with Sony Michel. So if I'm using the Patriots, I'm putting Michel there. I'll put White at tailback, halfback, and have him on the tosses. If we notice that we want to, the defense is sleeping on toss, we'll toss it to James White. All right, so put a power back there. Someone like if you got the Rams, you put Gurley there. If you got the Cowboys, you put Zeke there. And if you got the Cowboys, definitely spam that A button to stiff arm. All right, so fullback dive again has been the most successful run out of the goal line formation for me this year. And even again with my opponents, I've noticed my opponents have had the most success with that run as well. If you notice that you have the defense in goal line and they have no one way outside to the left, you can run toss. I've noticed, like, for some reason this year, toss isn't as good as it was in the past, especially when they don't move their defenders out wide. Like, for instance, right here, they're not out wide, and we are going to get perfect blocking. But I have noticed that defenders do shoot out there sometimes on toss, so just know that and be careful with trying to get too comfortable running toss. But yes, these are my red zone options. These are the runs I like to finish drives with. Take these into MUT head-to-head and regs and see how you guys like them. Again, if you guys have any questions about any of these plays, feel free to send me an email at problem@topmadden.com. Leave your email, leave your question with as much detail as possible, and I'll try to respond to it as fast as possible. Hope you guys are enjoying these videos. And this was part 4. In part 5, I'm going to talk about attacking the meta in Madden 20, which is, in my opinion, right now is 3-4. It's the most popular defense online. And then look forward to those defensive videos. We're going to go over my setups for 4-4 and 3-3-5. See you guys on the next video. Peace.